What's good, TikTok? What's good, YouTube? What's poppin', Facebook? It's your boy TIZ back again, aka Yourself, and this is All Facts TV. What's good with y'all? What's good? What's good? Oh, we got a great video today. This is what it all came to. I was gonna do Beelzebub and Honest Skellies today. But I need to really do some more research on Honest Skellies because it was a lot of things that I really didn't know about Honest Skellies, and I like to just give you the most value I could possibly give you in these videos. And on top of that, once I started digging into Asmodeus and I started really getting into the Talmud, and I started getting into the Kabbalah, and I started really figuring all this stuff out, man. So I got some more information that I really need to give y'all. And I really want to give y'all the most value I could possibly give y'all in these videos. Before we get started, I just want to let y'all know again that this is a fable. This is a fairy tale. This is non-canonical. That's another way that they say it. Anytime you guys hear non-canonical, that means that it's basically, that just means it's a fable or a fairy tale. And the whole purpose of a fable or a fairy tale is to teach you, because a lot of these things have so many different layers, these teachings. And this is what they are. Everything, all of these things in the Bible and everything is teachings. They're teaching you human nature, and they're teaching you your spiritual nature. And a lot of this stuff is very difficult to digest for the mind. Eventually it could do two things. It could either drive you absolutely crazy, or it can make you extremely intelligent. And most people that are really intelligent are extremely crazy. So that's just a conundrum for you. Hopefully I ain't going crazy. With the Ruach HaKodesh, he leads and guides you and me into the things that we need to do and the things that we need to say, and he helps us get through this the best way we can. So it's best to really pray before you do these type of things. Everybody listening to this right now, I want you to understand how special you are, because this is not for everybody. I know most of the stuff on your timeline is totally different than this. For TikTok, it's just saturated with celebrity worship, doom scrolling, and nonsensical entertainment, which is cool. We all need that sometimes. So that being said, if you're still listening to this after the 3 minutes that I've been on right now, I just want to let you know how much I really appreciate y'all. And if I'm giving you some good content, just don't forget to tap that screen. It don't really cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing at all, as a matter of fact. So let's get right into the brass tacks of the situation, shall we? As we proceed. Okay, so now this is Amadeus. So before I get into letting you know where we left off at, which is where King David needed the Shamir worm to cut the stones for the temple, or the altar of the temple, as a matter of fact. And he had specific instructions not to make any noise or use any tools of iron, such as chisels, hammers, saws, things of that nature. He needed the Shamir worms. So that meant he was going to need some demons' help. This is where we were in the story. But before we get to the story, which I'm going to have to read to you out of the Talmud, before we get to that, I want to explain to you what exactly possession is, because this is what ended up happening to King Solomon according to the Talmud. Another thing I want to let you understand is what exactly the temple was. It wasn't really a physical place. It was where God was supposed to dwell. It was where the Ark of the Covenant was supposed to be housed in. This is where the cloud of the Elohim would go into the temple. So the temple is your mind. The temple is your spirit. King Solomon is you. You are building the temple in your mind for God to dwell. In that journey, demons will try to stop you. They'll try to trick you, and they'll use the 4 points of contact. which are temptation, deception, oppression, finally, possession, which you have to give the demon directly or indirectly permission to enter yourself. Now, I want you to understand that this is an inversion. Inversion is a very important part of understanding these texts. Just like an inversion, for example, an inversion for fire will be Uriel holding the fire as the light of God, Ornius using it as a form of torture or a form of intimidation. The Elohim would be God within himself, God being omnipresent, omnipotent, meaning that God can be everything and everywhere at once and know everything that there is to absolutely know. So this is what Satan tries to invert with his hierarchy of demons. He also tries to invert the Ruach HaKodesh, or the set-apart spirit, with possession. God possesses everything. He possesses his Elohim, which is his angels, and he also possesses human beings with the breath of life, or the set-apart spirit, also known as the Holy Spirit. Hollywood tries to make this whole possession thing so spooky. It's not spooky. All it is that you become in a hive mentality with the demonic entities and the other fallen angels and Nephilim that dwell in this earth. You become part of the demonic hierarchy, so to speak. Asmodeus is actually the king of all the demons. People would actually think that title goes to Satan. Satan is the deity that represents evil and rebellion. Beelzebub is the deity that represents Lucifer, the serpent in its fallen state. Asmodeus is a hybrid. He's part angel, part human. Asmodeus is a demon or a Nephilim. Satan is Lucifer, the fallen angel. So Lucifer is the king of the fallen angels, where Asmodeus is the king of the demons. He is the King Shaddin, the destroyer of all marriages. He is the spirit of lust, wrath, jealousy, and usurpation. He sometimes teaches geometry, astrology, and arithmetic. He is the revealer of treasures and the granter of invisibility. He is one of the 7 princes of hell. He rules the sin of lust and has 72 legions. A legion is about 6,000 men in infantry. He has 3 heads, one of a bull, one of a man, and one of a ram. He has a serpent tail with webbed feet, breathes fire, and rides an infernal dragon, and carries a lance and a banner. He is commanded by the archangel Raphael. This is inversion again. Like I said, that's very important in these stories. Inversion is very important because it teaches us that God is in control of everything. Remember, the Most High, Yahweh God, is Elohim. He is all. So when they say an archangel, just think of that as being God. In the Testament of Solomon, he claims that he was born of an angel seed and by the daughter of a man. Remember, he's a half-breed. He is a hybrid, half human, half angel. He is a Nephilim. The fallen Nephilim are the demons. Remember that. That's important. That's why I keep going over it. He's of mixed blood. That's why he speaks so arrogantly against the sons of man, which are human beings, because he's half human and half angel. So he thinks he's better than humans. Remember, on earth, humans are God in representation of the Elohim. Angels are below human beings on earth. In the spiritual plane, it's different. This is where it gets interesting. So listen close. You're probably wondering who his father was, since his father was an angel. His father's name was the fallen angel Shamdan in the Kabbalistic tradition. In the Bible, he would be Samael, the angel of death. His mother is Nama, mother of Tubal Cain. If you go in the Bible and you read the lineages, it shows this lineage I'll go into that further. I don't want to get too in depth with this. It'll get confusing if I do that. Just know that Tubal-Cain is Cain's grandson, and Naamah is Tubal-Cain's mother. So his mother is of the seed of the serpent, or the seed of Cain, and his father is the fallen angel, Samael, or the angel of death. He is the first one to fall, the first angel to fall from the grace of God. He is the angel of death because he represents the tree of good and evil, which is the progenitor of death on humans in the garden. Now, in Kabbalistic traditions, he's also linked to Adam and Lilith as parents of the certain Shadim, or demons. This makes him the king of the demons, or the king of the Shadim. The Shadim have a special hunger for human passion or impurity. The Persians called him Ashima, which means demon of wrath. So that links him to lust and wrath. These things are going to make sense when I go back and read the story. That's why I'm giving you the backstory. Like I said, I'm creating motion in your mind. Right now, you're taking in the information. So when you have the story, your mind will combine the information with the story. He's also a demon of fury and the wandering spear who opposes the divine order. During and after the Babylonian exile, the figure Ashima gradually moved into the demon of lust, marital ruin, and the king of all demons. Asmodeus was also present with Noah in the vineyard. This is what got Noah so drunk. In the state of his drunkenness, that's when the transgression happened with Ham, which had to do with lust and immoral sex. Now, the reason why Asmodeus is really important is because he represents the spirit that comes to you when you become rich, or when you start to become successful in doing God's will, because God will grant you everything that you always wanted. Same thing as he did with King Solomon and the rest of the patriarchs. At that point, you become part of the Elohim, the same as the angels. But when God grants you all of these things, your environment changes. You begin to have an inflated ego. And this is where the temptation begins. This is where he's able to use deception on you to get you off of that path. This is where sexual immorality comes. This is where vanity comes in, and all of the rest of the things that Asmodeus represents. This is the reason why it's so important to understand Asmodeus. Put yourself in the place of Solomon in King Solomon's temple. Remember, I said King Solomon's temple is your mind. It is your soul. You are building a place in your body, in your mind, so that God can dwell within your soul and you can take in the breath of life. Asmodeus' primary motivation is he plots against newlyweds so they may not know one another. Remember, I said the word no. The word no has to do with sex. In Sodom and Gomorrah, he asked for the men to come out so that they may know them. He is also the server of many calamities. He wastes the beauty of virgins and estranges their hearts. He drives men mad for women who are not theirs. This leads to adultery, sin, and murder. In the book of Tobit, he is jealous of Sarah and kills her 7 husbands before their marriage can be consummated. I'll go over that story also. He escalates his calamities from wrecking beds to usurping King Solomon's throne and identity. His patterns remain the same. He doesn't only want lust, he wants substitution. He wants to stand where the rightful, beloved, or anointed king stands. He wants to fracture what God joins and wear a stolen face. He has a vicious wrath, and he is envious of human intimacy. He has pride in forbidden knowledge, and he thrills in turning the holy order counterfeit. Okay, this is where I'm going to land a plane on this one. like I said before, I don't want to overload you guys donkey with all of this information. It's a lot of information to take in. It's okay if you decide you want to take notes too. It's really all right. I did a lot of studying on this. I compiled a lot of information on this, and I'm going to be putting this into around 4 videos for Asmodeus. So just be prepared for it to get better and better. This is just the introduction. So understand that it's going to get better and better through that. This story will help you in your marriage. This story will help you get your money in a way that's not evil. It'll help you to know what to do with your money when you do actually get it. It'll also help you to understand what the Holy Spirit is and what demonic possession is. This story helps with a lot of stuff. I didn't really understand the Bible until I actually read these specific books. Now, again, if you guys gonna get into the Talmud, I'm gonna warn you. It's a lot. It's a lot. If you guys are going to get into the Zohar, it's a lot. And as a matter of fact, it gets so magical, I can't even get through it all. So, same thing with Kabbalah. These are occult teachings. Just remember that and understand that. I went through them and I pulled out the things that are needed in a way that you need them. I will not expose you to any occult stuff that is negative for you. Everything that I do here will get you closer to the Most High. None of this stuff will drive you into witchcraft or Kabbalah or any of these other mystical things. That's not what I'm here to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's be friends on TikTok. Follow me on Facebook. With that being said, have a great night. And don't forget about Plain Planet. The inspiration behind Plain Planet is not just some flat earth conspiracy theory. It's the idea that your vision of life belongs to you. You don't have to believe something that you've learned in school. You don't have to believe something that science tells you is true. You can believe what you want to believe. You could be who you want to be. This is the essence of Plain Planet. Plain Planet is a clothing line. It's a Christian clothing line on top of it that you can actually wear and be proud of. This ain't churchy or Bible thumping. This is a quality streetwear brand. This is Plain Planet. Clothing you can believe in.
Dreams come true, and I wonder if you know.